Hi, I'm Darcy and I'm 18 years old. What are you willing to do for love? I've given up on my future profession and got carried away with someone else's dream as my own. Watch the video to the end and find out how I traded my studies for a guy and how it ended for me. Many people know in advance where they want to go after school and prepare for it in a few years ahead. And I didn't even go to the prom. I was looking forward to a successful future and desperately wanted a change, but what kind of change? My parents were willing to help me with anything, even the most expensive college, but I couldn't decide on a profession. I wanted to do everything at once. That's why I sent the documents to a lot of places with a variety of specialities at once. Can you imagine how surprised I was when I received a whole bunch of positive responses? It seemed nice, but what to do with it? Who to choose? In the end, it was not the college that was decisive, but the place where it was located. I suddenly realized that studying was a unique chance to live in a metropolis, to taste the big city and all its possibilities. I announced my choice to my parents and was already packing, but then everything changed abruptly. I met Palmer. We just bumped into each other on the way out of the store, but it turned my whole life upside down. Have you ever met a person who immediately seemed familiar, as if you have known him for 1,000 years? Share it in the comments. Palmer is engaged in car repairing. He is great at it, like he's got a degree in motors. He talks so enthusiastically about the work of a mechanic that you immediately believe that this is art, not just hard work. We quickly became close, and he told me about his dream. He really wanted to open his own workshop, but he couldn't save enough money and his parents were not rich. And then I thought, why not give him money? I could start college later and do something else now. For example, to devote time to the relationship with Palmer and at the same time to help him. You should have seen how happy he was. I had a large amount of money in my account set aside for college and it was enough. Enough to get his business back on its feet. The idea of this workshop captured my head as if it had long been our common dream. I forgot to think about the study. I soon introduced Palmer to my parents. Our relationship was already serious. Everything went well at first. They were impressed with Palmer's serious approach to work and they approved the idea of a business. But then, my mother asked what he thought of my imminent departure. Palmer was confused, and I knew it was time to tell them about our plans. The scandal was terrible. At least they only yelled at me, and Palmer didn't get it. I had to move out of my parents' house. They were not ready to support all my choices. I immediately got a job as a cashier and invested all my money in my family business with Palmer. Of course, it was not easy. But I felt like I knew what I was doing with my life. The only time I ever doubted my choice was when I bumped into Jennifer. She graduated from high school as an extern and had been in college for a year. Oh, how much she told. I was so envious to hear about her communication with professors, about how life was in another city, about student hangouts. But I really didn't think about changing anything. Unlike Palmer, one day, he just said that our relationship was getting in the way, that he spent too much time on me, that he would save more money alone, and that he could sleep at work. I thought he was just stressed, but no. This poor workaholic left me. Of course, I went back to my parents the same day. While I was crying, they grabbed their phones and started calling colleges. It seemed to me that half my life had passed, but I was still in time for the beginning of the semester. It was a spontaneous decision again, but I didn't care. I was compelled by the force of pure anger. It was the same force that sent me to Palmer's workshop before I left. A little mayhem didn't bankrupt him, but it did express my opinion of him. Still, I couldn't help but stop by the workshop when I visited my parents on vacation. Palmer was doing well, and I was glad. So I didn't spend our money for nothing. My parents were of a different opinion, of course. Palmer apologized to me and admitted that it wasn't because I was in the way. He felt that he was stopping me, not allowing me to move on. And he was right. I was much happier in college. Did you like my story? Then put a like and subscribe to the channel. There are many more such stories. Click the bell icon so that nothing is missed. And it is better not to decide hastily when it comes to your future.